Hello, everyone, and welcome to another night of sneak peeks in our upcoming mini catalog and celebration. My name is Sarah Simon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Appleton, Wisconsin, and I am so excited to share the product with you tonight. So, hello, Kelly and Mary and Sandy and Tammy and Joan and Carol. I'm so glad that you joined me. I am going to remind you that by placing a comment, even just saying hello, you do get entered into a drawing. Tomorrow night, I will do another drawing when I do my live. I'll be at 6:30 again tomorrow night. Um, and then on Saturday morning, anyone who, any day that your name was in the drawing, your name gets put into another drawing. So if you watch all 3 nights and you made a comment all 3 nights, your name will go in the drawing 3 times for a chance to win a $25 shopping spree with me. And I will draw that on Saturday morning when I do my normal live. So I can't figure out what I'm going to do for that since I've been doing stuff all week. I cut for one card tonight, and I quickly, like with 2 minutes before I went live, I cut all the stuff to do one of the other samples that I have so that I can show you how to use the 2 different dies that are in there in the set that we're using tonight. So again, thank you so much for your comments. I decided I am going to use the card that I showed you last night as one of my swap cards. I found out I only had to make 13, and I had 2 of them done now. So that means I only had 11 that I had to still fussy cut. And so I decided that wasn't too bad. And so not as bad as it was to do all that coloring. So I decided that was going to be my swap card. And the one I'm going to show you tonight is also a swap card. So I'm getting a lot of stuff done. Now I just have to make them all. Designing them for me is always the hardest part. So, all right, let's go ahead. I think it worked last night for me to share my screen and do my random generator number. We had 41 people comment, which is up from the night before, which was 35. So we increased it a little bit here. So let me go ahead. I'm going to hit that I want to share my screen. We'll pick our random organ, random.org, and I have 1 to 41. I'm going to generate. It is going to be number 21. And let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And we'll go ahead and look at this page. And number 21 is Karen Karst. So Karen, congratulations. You probably want to know what you're winning. So I'm going to circle this so I remember. You are winning a spool of this sweet sorbet ribbon along with some of the gems from the Be My Valentine. These are called adhesive back hearts and flowers. So I will be getting these off in the mail to you. We're going to be using this ribbon. I don't think we'll be using the adhesive gems today or the hearts and flowers. I picked a different thing to use for my what do I want to call it? Embellishment. So I picked something else to go with our thing today. So I'm going to go ahead and set these aside. I have your names circled so I know that they go to you. I'm going to get my mouse out of the way here a little bit. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to need that right away, so I better bring it back. All right, so Hooray for Surprises is the bundle. I'm going to turn my overhead lights off. I get a few less shadows, and I do put this paper over my glass mat because look at what happens when I put my glass mat. You get those big things from my lights. Now, someone said you can take vellum cardstock and put that down, but I'm fine with just putting a little paper over the top of it. So, Hooray for Surprises. I have to tell you, it took me a while to figure this stamp set out. It looks like we got a lot of other people. Mary Stamp, Melanie, Kathy, I think I said hello, maybe not. And Kelly, I said hello to. Congratulations, Karen. Hello, Patty Skiba and Karen Weir. And I think I said hello to Joan already. So hooray for surprises. I had to go to YouTube and I put Stampin' Up! Hooray for Surprises. I found a couple of demonstrators who had done some stuff. They gave me a couple of hints to kind of make some of this a little bit easier. So what I did was I went in and I took a piece of cardstock and I cut so you could see what these three, actually there's four. We're going to be using this one in our card. So I didn't do that one. And I'm going to actually cut it with you so that you can see. But these right here, they perforate and don't cut it out completely. And as part of the stamps, you have these open here and pull. So these are meant to be interactive cards. So you can say open here. If they take this, they can go ahead and pull it open. And you can take this, you are simply amazing, and have that stamped underneath there. Okay, same thing here. You can pull this and they can pull this circle off and there can be something underneath that is revealed. Now, I did see someone, and I'm not doing it tonight, but I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do on Saturday, is show you how you can use this so that you can peel it open and it will reveal a gift card or something like that that you can hide behind it. I'm just going to be doing stamping behind it or putting a heart behind it with a greeting on it. I'm not actually going to be putting anything inside of it. You could also, if you wanted to, with that other method that I'm going to show you on Saturday, which kind of makes it like a shaker card where you have to put the foam adhesive strips around to hold your gift card in, and then put this over the top. And then when you flip it open, you can get out the other stuff that's inside of it. Okay, so and hopefully will make a little bit more sense when I start to do it. I also wanted to show you, whoa, all my stuff came off here. I'm going to keep this one out because we're going to use that. But I wanted to show you this little die right here. This does not cut a heart, but what it will do is you will cut your normal heart. You will run these two together. And when you run these two together in your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it will put holes in that one. And then you can cut a solid one to put underneath it to make it kind of two-toned. All right. So that is what, that is how this die right here works. We're not actually going to be using that tonight, but I thought since I'm showing how to use the other ones, I would go ahead and show you that as well. So we have a floral image that you can cut out. There is a cake, and I'm going to show you the cake. I made a card with that. And then there's this little flower. And I put the flower in, it kind of looks like a star, but it really is a flower. And I did put the flower, there is a flower stamp too, I think. A little flower right here. I don't have it off. That's why I don't see it. Okay, so this is the stamp set that we're going to be using. And it is a standalone, which it's not part of a suite of products. And so I had to decide what I wanted to use for, if I wanted to use some designer paper, what I wanted to do. And I decided I wanted to use, I just put the stamp set away. Here we go. I wanted to use this heart right here and make it a Valentine and use sending you lots of love. And I looked for Valentine greetings. So I looked in here, be my Valentine. I don't have anyone that I want to say be my Valentine to be honest with you. So in the Be My Valentine, there is a Happy Valentine's Day. So we're going to be using that. So we are also going to be using some of the paper from that Be My Valentine. So, oops, I'm giving you a little bit of a sneak peek there. We'll put that aside. All right, I'm going to have to go away from my comments here for a little bit. I'm going to go to my banners. I have to talk myself through this yet. So we are going to be using the Sweet Sorbet, and this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's not going to fold. This is going to be a fun fold. It's going to have overlapping layers using some of the DSP. I have a basic white layer that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then for my left-hand side opening, I have a layer that measures 4 by 3 1/2, and I scored it at 1/2 inch on this 4-inch side. So that I'm really getting a square of 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. My right-hand side layer is 3 1/2 by 3. And again, I scored it at 1/2 inch so that I'm really getting a 3 by 3 inch square. All right, all of this designer paper is coming from that Be My Valentine. And I didn't make up a sheet yet for it, but I have 2 pieces that measure 4 inches by 3/4 inch. And then this is another one of those papers. So you can kind of see the bees are on the back. I'm using the other side that has more of the Valentine stuff. This measures 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I have a basic white that measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then I have a petal pink that measures 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. Now I did this 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. When I did it, actually I trimmed it down after I had stamped on it, and I decided to try to do it live. I'm going to have to, excuse me, make it just a little bit bigger. So I decided to make it 2 5/8 by 2 5/8, and we'll see how it goes. And if I have to cut something else, this is live TV after all. So the trick that one of the demonstrators shared was to take some, just some typing paper. So here's just like a sheet of typing paper, really, really thin, and cut it to the size that you're going to be cutting your die. Because then I can rip the heart out and line that up where I need to stamp it, and then it will line up perfectly. Otherwise, trying to line it up, kind of a beast. So this is going to be the ticket to helping us with lining this up. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this square piece. I'm going to do all my stamping first. So I need to take the Sweet Sorbet, and I'm going to take that heart stamp. I have all of the stamps on a block because when I'm trying to design with a new stamp set, I like to block them all up so that I can just quickly grab them if I decide I want to use it in the middle of my creating. Now I am going to have to do this a little bit over to the right because there is this little tab that's over here. So I don't really want it centered because I need to save enough space for that little tab to be cut out. So I think I'm over enough. Okay, that's a pretty nice solid image. And then on the inside, or when we open the flaps up, that's where we're going to put the Happy Valentine's Day. And again, this is not in this set. Doesn't really even go with the fonts, but oh shoot. Good thing there's 2 sides, right? Good thing I hadn't put the designer paper on yet. There we go. Happy Valentine's Day. And then in this stamp set, there is a little heart. And so I decided I wanted to take that little heart. Here it is. And with some of the petal pink, I just wanted to put a couple of those hearts around that Happy Valentine's Day, just to kind of put the love on the inside as well. All right, that is all we have for stamping. Oh, I am like ready to just drop everything today. All right, we need to cut this, and we're going to put our typing paper behind it. You can, if you're just typing or cutting a regular circle and you're not trying to match it up, you could go ahead and put the typing paper. I put the typing paper on top. But when you have to try to match it up, you're going to have to put the typing paper underneath. So I'm going to bring my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in, along with my plates. And I apologize, this is really kind of close up for this, but I thought it would be nice for you to see how this cuts. I did cut out this, and I forgot to stamp that. We'll have to go back and stamp that. I'm going to use Versamark and heat embossing. So I'm going to go ahead and line these two up. And then I'm going to take my die. And I want to there we go. Sorry about that. I'm not quite sure what I did. I must have knocked something with my mouse, is what I'm guessing. So all I did was run it through my machine. I know that I was still on for that. So all of the ones that have the little tab on the side are the ones that don't cut it completely. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this off. And I reuse that tape. Okay, so notice this is still in place. So this little tab is what they would pull. There's still little things that are hooking that together yet. This one, I'm going to pull off. Okay, so this is my typing paper that's lined up exactly where that is. So that's going to be my hint as to where I can layer this. Okay, let's go ahead. Versamark. And let's go ahead and wipe this. I have to make a bunch of these, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp it, even though through the magic of TV I have this done. I'm going to be making these for a swap. So I might as well go ahead and stamp it right away. And I am going to stand up when I stamp it. This says, sending you lots of love. So when they open up that little heart, that's what it's going to say on the inside. And I have my white embossing powder here. Get my little spoon. Okay, so sending you lots of love. That just has to be heat embossed. I'm going to set that up there so I can do that later and not waste it. Oh, thank you, Joan. I am a teacher by trade. So people always say that to me. They're like, you can tell you're a teacher. All right. So this is ready to go. Through the magic of TV, I have the sending you lots of love already heat sealed on there. We need to find our white layer. Okay, now there is the little word that says pull. Is this it? Yes, this says pull. Now I found that on the round tab for the round one, it fit really well. It didn't fit so well on this one. So do you think we need to put a little pull along the side here somewhere so that they know that they have to pull it? Because I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't fit real nice in the pull doesn't fit real nice in the heart one. In the big round one, it does. So I'm going to, yeah, so that's not going to fit in there. So I think, should we put pull up there or should we just leave it and hopefully that they know what to do? What do you think? I'll let you say what you want, what you think we should do. So to figure out what we're going to do on our white, I am going to go ahead and put where that pink's going to go. So there's just 1/16 of an inch all the way around. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some liquid glue. Now, if you were stamping, you could go ahead and you could stamp. You would know right where to stamp inside of there. I decided for this one, I was just going to put a heart. I'll show you some that I stamped as well, because we're going to pull them apart so you can see what they look like when the recipient gets them. Okay, so now that I put that right inside of there, that will line up exactly where it's supposed to on here when they go ahead and pull it back. And again, we'll pull mine back because mine does say pull on it, and I don't really like. If I sent that to someone, they would need the instructions. Yeah, they aren't stampers. That's true. Stamp pull. So if we stamp the pull, I'm thinking I'm going to stamp it. Good point, ladies. I think I'm going to stamp it right. Maybe if I go down a little bit from where I did it. All right, I still don't like how that looks on there. I think I would put it on the side. So this is another one that is not going to be for my swap because I don't like how that looks there. I would put it up here or put it down there so that they know. But that's a very good point. I don't think that they would know that they have to pull it if they're not a stamper and didn't know that the stamp set. Some people saw it in the catalog stampers and didn't even realize what it was. Okay, let's go ahead, put our card together. So we're going to start with this right here, and we're going to attach these strips of designer paper. And I don't think I have to make many of these cards. Maybe 10, 11, I don't remember. But I agree, I think the pull has to be there, but I'm not really liking it where I have it. So the open me or open here or something like that for the long one, that one fits really nicely. And the pull fits really nicely on the circular one. It just doesn't fit real nice on the heart-shaped one for some reason. Okay, so that's what our base is going to look like. And we're going to, whoops, I almost messed that up. We would have been in a world of hurt. We're okay yet. I'm just going to set this over here. We need to attach our red layers before we lay that down. So it's probably a good thing that I did that if you decide to follow this, layout, you will know not to do what I just almost did. Okay, this is going to line up. I want to have an even space up here and down here. I'm going to press that on there. And then I have to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and put a little liquid glue on the inside here. And we're going to wrap that, and we want that to be sort of centered on this one. All right, now I'm going to add just a little bit more glue to make sure that it stays. We learn from our mistakes, right? So now I got to make sure I'm having it go the right way. Did this a lot different than when I made it the first time. I'm actually going to use my bone folder here a little bit. And I wasn't going to do that because I had glue that was waiting. Oh, I still have this little tickle of a cough that is driving me crazy since I had COVID. Does not want to go away. All right, and that is going to go right there to bring in some more hearts. Hello, Elsa. All right, and then I'm going to actually, let's finish this up. Let's go ahead and put this down. This is going to go flat. You're not going to see that at the beginning. It does look kind of cute like that though, right? That's what it's going to look like once they pull that heart off, but it's also going to have a pink around it. So when you are adding this, if you're going to use glue, you could use just regular liquid glue and not raise it up. We really don't have anything raised up on here, so I decided to raise this up. Wherever you put your glue or put your dimensionals, you have to make sure that it's on the outside of this cut part. You don't want to put your dimensionals or glue in a place where you can't open it. Also, because they're going to be tugging on this, it would be a really, really good idea to put it some that are going to be kind of close to where the tugging is going to take place. And I don't want to go onto that heart, but I do want to have some that are going to be really close to the edge of that cut part. Now, for those of you that have looked at a catalog, when you looked at this one, did you realize that that's what this did? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I think it was the third time looking at the catalog that I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. It's like an interactive card. You actually have to do something and pull on something. And I just was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. For someone who likes to do fun folds and all that kind of stuff, I was intrigued. All right, I have more dimensionals on here than I need. Had no idea, Melanie. Yeah, me either. All right, let's go ahead and take these off. Now there is a flower. There are a couple of flower dies and stuff, and I thought I could probably put something like that on here if I didn't want to put the sending you lots of love. Oh, Kathy, your upline did it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I couldn't find a whole lot of videos out there. So this is an original for me, but the idea for the typing paper I got from somebody else. So now if I line this up, like I had lined up the typing paper when I put that in there, this should be right where I need it to be. All right, let's bring that sweet sorbet ribbon in. And just going to along the side here to add a little bit of ribbon. Just going to tie it in a knot, not in a bow. It'll lay a little bit flatter, a little bit easier to tie as well. Okay, and if you want, you could put a glue dot behind that knot so that it stays right where you want it to stay. You don't have to, but I tend to like to keep my ribbons and things like that exactly where I want them to be. And so I tend to like to just roll up. I usually take my take your pick tool. It's in my little caddy. Scissors will do as well. And roll it up into a ball and then stick it underneath the knot where you want it to be. And that will just kind of hold it in place. Oh, Wink of Stella, right? We need some glitter on here. So I'm going to go ahead and glitter up. Now, when you do glitter and you go over the ink, even though I've given it quite a bit of time to dry, it does spread some of the ink a little bit so that it changes so that it's not quite as pink. But oh, that glitter looks so nice on here. All right, and then we had these, but I didn't know if I wanted hearts. Here's some sweet sorbet little glitter gems. And this is what I ended up using on mine. And I just put a couple of them down here since you're going to be pulling over there. And that was my final card. So it opens like this, opens like that, and there's your Happy Valentine's Day greeting. The interactive part, so here was the one I did where I put the pull as well and didn't fit very well. But if you pull it, okay, there is your heart. Now I did a pink one with red. I didn't think that that was going to stand out because of this being pink. So when I did the one for here, I decided to change it to red with the white. And isn't that going to look a lot cuter than this? I mean, this is cool, but that is what it is. Okay, let me show you some other cards that I made. So here is one using the flower die that's in there. See how the pull fits a lot nicer? I think if we did the heart and I didn't have the stamping that I had to worry about, I might be able to bring it down a little bit, but this just looks a little bit wider. So on this one, if you pull and open it up, you're the best. And then I didn't stamp anything on the inside yet. Okay, I'm going to reuse this flower. I'm going to cut this off of here and reuse it. And that's what we're going to do with this one too. I'm going to show you how I did the next one. Let's see. Where is the next one? Where'd it go? Oh, you know what? I bet it's over. Remember how I said at like 2 minutes to go? This one is kind of like on page 13, but they had all white and I added some designer paper to it. And I changed up the colors just a little bit. And I'm going to cut these cakes off so that we can do this one real quick so I can show you how to do this. I'm not going to stamp the inside tonight, but that's what the inside looked like. I stamped a whole bunch of candles and then hope your birthday is wonderful. And when you open it, you are simply amazing. And then with the cakes, hope your birthday is wonderful. So I kind of ruined these, right? But what you can do is, I'm not going to take my good ribbon scissors, but I have these on a dimensional. So if I just cut underneath here, can you tell I've done this before when I've ruined a card? You can cut those right off so that I could use these again in another card, because I'm not going to want to use this one because I already tore off the surprise, but I wanted you to see what it looks like and how it works. So how I did that one, I just quickly threw together the pieces, and I don't have the dimensions to pop up here in a banner because literally by the time I finished cutting all the stuff and came back over here and got ready, I looked up and it was like, oh my gosh, 2 minutes and 2 seconds and my live's supposed to start. So I really didn't have a ton of time to do that. So I wanted to just show you how I went about doing this card. And like I said, it's basically a card. Oh no, I'm using my ribbon scissors. It's basically a card from the catalog. All right. And there were 3 cakes. The card was all completely white. And I looked at it and I like that. I mean, I think it's a really cute idea. I get what they're doing. And you could probably find another stamp set, maybe even that has like a long greeting that would be even more birthday related if you wanted to. But I just felt like it needed something else. And so what I did was, this is some of our gingham paper. It comes with the lemon lime twist. This is berry burst, and there's blueberry bushel. There's pecan pie, and I think that's it. So I just took the berry burst. Okay, so this is a thick white card base, just a regular A2 card. This one is still 5.5. I just cut it down an inch. So this is actually 3.25 by 5.5. And then this one I cut down another inch. So this is 2.25 by 5.5. All right. I just took these 2 little layers. I was kind of into layers, I guess, because both of my cards kind of look the same with having a border across the top. and across the bottom. Now you didn't want to do this one too wide because that paper that's going to go over the top of it is an inch, excuse me, an inch smaller. So that's just going to go like that. And I have to have room in here to do my stamping because that's where I stamped that greeting. So again, I cut a piece of typing paper that is the 5.5 by 2.5. I'm going to set these all aside so we can come back and put those on our card. I'm going to bring my big shot back in here, or my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's not a big shot anymore. I'm going to have to get the dies and the plates. So we've got our plate, and I'm going to line this up. I want to make sure that it's right on top of it because that's what I'm going to be using to line up where that stamp is going to go. So I'm going to bring in the person that I saw demonstrate that greeting in there. She didn't line it up and she was just kind of using a pencil and writing where things were. Then when I saw this lady that said, you know, just line it up with typing paper, I was like, oh, that's brilliant. All right, so I'm trying to center this and put in a top layer. There we go. Want to keep that straight. I didn't use any tape this time, but I think it's straight. Get rid of that. There's that. Get rid of those. Okay, now, so here's my typing paper. So this one I can rip so that I can line that up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put where this is going to go on the card. Okay, so I want to make sure I've got it lined up. Looks pretty good. All right, I have to get some Berry Burst ink because I wasn't planning to do this until right before, so I don't have it here. Whoops, just stepped on my plates. So there's my Berry Burst ink. This was kind of a second thought here, like I said. I thought they might want to know how to do this. Hi, Sarah Mitchell. Okay, so this is the You Are Simply Amazing. So when I have it set where I want, I'm looking and trying to center it. Okay, so that's where that has to go. Now I can get rid of this. For this one, I can type my open here. Okay, so that they know they have to pull that open. I'm going to close this up. And all right, what I did next was I went ahead and glued this down. And if you wanted to, actually, you know what? I think I put this layer on dimensionals. You could put it on dimensionals, or you can just set it down. Okay, then this I'm just going to glue down. And again, make sure I don't put any liquid glue inside of there. I don't want that to stick, but I do want to have it pretty thick around, not thick, but I want to have enough of it nearby so that it doesn't pull up when they go to pull on it. Okay, so now if I center this again, and hopefully I had it pretty centered, that will line up. And you can kind of take your Like I'm looking in there and I can see that the words are in there. And then I'm just going to pop these on. Let's see if I have some bigger dimensionals. Here we go. This is my flower that I'm going to reuse. Just going to pop, oh, excuse me, some dimensionals on here. So this is the cake that I stamped in each of the colors. There's a die that cuts it out. And then there's that little flower die. It's exactly what they did in the catalog. I'm going to put that about center. And then I'm going to put one on either side. And this is a lemon lime twist and coastal cabana that I used. I think they use different colors in the catalog. I went a little bit brighter. Okay, so just like that, the card is redone. All I have to do is do the inside. It looks like I'm just a little bit off here. So I'm just going to take my snips and cut that straight so it's not hanging off the edge. And there's that card remade. All right, so that gives you an idea how to use these dies. So we have this one. We had our You're the Best, which is like that book fold. I just folded it the opposite way. And then we had our overlapping. I suppose I can pull this one because I'm not going to use it either because, okay, so doesn't it look better with the red and white? I think it does. There's that little white there, but I think if I just put the pull up there, it'll look really nice. So, so much fun. All right, I had to put my light back on, so I'll try to, whoops, come back to you here. I got to go like this and then go like that. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that gave you a little bit of insight into how to use the dies in the Hooray for Surprises bundle. Again, if you have a catalog, it's on page 13. If you're wondering where in the world did you see that. If you need a catalog, send me a message. I will make sure I get one in the mail to you. If I have your address, great. If I don't, make sure you included an address. It's just createwithsarahllc@gmail.com, or you can send me a Facebook message if you wanted to do that as well. Any comment again will get you into the drawing for the prizes for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be live again at 6:30. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to try to figure that out once I get off with you. Yes, there is a new catalog. Becky, I didn't get one to you. Oh, you know what? I think I was going to send it with your something that I sent to you, and I think I forgot to put it in there. So I will put it in the mail tomorrow to you, Becky. Sorry about that. Anyone else, let me know. But yeah, that's it for tonight. I will see you again tomorrow night at 6:30, featuring something else from the new catalog with chances to win prizes. So have yourselves a great night, and I will see you tomorrow night, same time, same channel. Bye-bye.